In the landlocked country of Laos is a mountain range which conceals a network of caves. The limestone caves of Viengxay served as the headquarters of the Lao Revolutionary Army, the Pathet Lao. And it holds secrets of how the country won their 9-year-long battle for freedom. Exploring sites of history, culture, and natural beauty, I am on a quest for treasures. Treasures which tell the story of the people whose heritage are under threat. I am Linda Black, your heritage hunter. "350 kilometers away from Vientiane, the capital of Laos, is Viengxay, the birthplace of the Lao Democratic Republic. Laos holds the record for being the most bombed nation in the world. 2 million tons of bombs were dropped in Laos between 1964 and 1973. It was the battleground for the ideological face-off in the Cold War between the Communist bloc led by the Soviet Union and the West led by the USA. War defines its past. While nature carved out a labyrinth of caves, the Pathet Lao carved out the hidden city. For the most part of the journey, we travel at an average speed of 30 kilometers an hour. The scenery unfurls like a landscape painting. It makes up for 2 full days of winding roads, plus climb an altitude of up to 1,800 meters, a journey not to be taken at night due to the conditions. This is the road towards the most tumultuous period in Laos history. Viengxay has a population of just 4,000, but its landscape of forests, mountains, and caves once supported and sheltered 20,000 people. The treasures I'm looking for are a carpet stained with the blood of fallen heroes, a Russian leader, and a musical elephant. And my search begins in Viengxay, the hidden city.
Savadi.
Somkit Bua Viengxay is a guide with the Cave Memorial Office, and the first cave of call belongs to the leader of the Pathet Lao Revolutionary Party, Khason Phomvihane.
Oh, you can feel the coolness here.
The hidden city is spread out over central Viengxay.
Oh, wow.
This is the Mr. Khason Phomvihane cave, and this cave 140 meters long.
Okay.
About 15 people is hiding with him, including his family. And these caves also made by dynamite.
This isn't the natural, but it was enlarged.
Yes, sure. And this room is dining room.
Phomvihane's cave was a suite of rooms with his own personal space and offices, but there was an airtight room which could fit everyone.
And this room for the emergency room. Please come to see.
An emergency room, okay. Oh, okay, right. This must be extra reinforced, so in case the planes are coming outside, is that right?
Yeah. And this is the oxygen machine. You know oxygen machine?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This is the helping from Soviet Union in 1968.
1968, the Soviets.
If the American airplane came to drop a chemical bomb orange outside, so each people come to this room. So they have to use oxygen machine to get the air from outside. The example, like this.
It works. So this is the filter.
Yeah, in the
you got a
filter.
hand crank here and the fresh air.
Yeah, only fresh air to here.
The emergency room never had to be used. A 50-meter tunnel that took 5 months to carve leads to the nerve center of the party apparatus. Phomvihane presided over the daily Politburo meetings in this room with his 7-member cabinet. 2 secretaries recorded the minutes at a side table. Sometimes the leaders would be held up for days in marathon meetings, and they would spend their nights here. Pom Vihan spent many hours in this room. It was his favorite.
This is his office.
Okay.
He started working here since 1964 to 73. For 9 years that he's working here, and he can spoken about 5 languages.
The scholar and soldier treasured these books. Aha, I think I'm close to my treasure.
I know him. This is Lenin, isn't
Yeah,
it?
this is Lenin, the prison from them since 1967, when they came to visit the Pathet,
In
Laos.
67.
I have found my treasure.
This is the bust of Lenin. This is my Russian leader. Well, apparently it was a gift from the Russian delegation.
Kason Pom Vihan's cave cuts through the mountain 140 meters deep. There is a lookout point at the other end. On the mountain tops, anti-aircraft guns were stationed to defend the cave. After the war, Kason Pom Vihan moved out of the caves to a bespoke house a stone's throw away. His greatest pleasure was his garden of fruit trees.
Fruit trees are abundant in this area. There's mangoes, there's oranges. This is a pomelo. So at least there was always fruit to eat.
But finding food during the war was a daily struggle. There would be bombing every day, often for up to 10 hours. Pilots looked for any small signs of life. Everything had to be done under the cover of darkness. A day's journey from Viengxay in neighboring Xianghuang province is the only cave which received a direct hit. The date, 24th November, time 3 p.m. I'm here at the mouth of Tam Pu Cave. Now this site stands in mute testimony to the almost 400 innocent lives that perished here after a guided missile made a direct hit. There were no survivors in this cave, which sheltered mainly women and children. The piles of stones throughout Tam Pu are in memory of the victims. Tam Pu haunts La Sang Kampet. He was 12 and living in a cave 12 kilometers away when the missile hit.
บังคับให้คนอยู่ในทัมปิวเขาออกบ่ได้เมื่อเป็นไปคือนั้นจักรพรรดิอเมริกานี้มันถือว่ามันถล่มป่าสนอยู่ในสถานที่ทัมปิวนี้ย้อนเงื่อนไขหยังและเป็นหยังอเมริกาจึงมาเฮ็ดอย่างห้ายแห่งอยู่ในสถานที่ทัมปิวข้าพเจ้าก็เป็นนาทีเสียใจญาติพี่น้องของข้าพเจ้าก็ล้มหายตายไปอยู่ในทัมปิวนี้หลายพอสมควร
When Tam Pu was opened to the public in 2001, La Sang Kampet returned to be its caretaker. The heritage trail of the hidden city and the search for its treasures continues at the headquarters and home of the Supreme Commander of the Pathet Lao, Komtai Sipadon.
What's this?
Oh, this is the protection.
Protection.
Yeah, protection for the bombs, rockets.
Well, it's very protected, you know, because it's covered here and covered here.
Yeah, it's quite safe.
The first room in Sipadon's cave served as a meeting room.
During that time, so many people come to working here and meeting here. It's not enough the people come to working here. So in 1964, they make it bigger than before.
When there was bombing, the people retreated to a more secure meeting room. That happened quite frequently, as enemy intelligence suspected the area was where one of the leaders was holed up.
And this place is like a home of the Khamtai Sipandon. He's working by himself and he's living with his family.
The cave is peppered with holes.
So many.
Oh, there's,
Yeah.
it's everywhere. So it's not they're not blasted through. It's not ventilation at all. They're just pockets where you put the dynamite and the charges.
Yeah.
Sipadon's bedroom was like a 4x4 cell. He did, however, have his own modest walk-in wardrobe.
That's room for the keep the clothes.
Okay.
The clothes.
Nice. Well, that's a luxury, isn't it?
Sipadon also had his own emergency room within meters of the living quarters because his nephews stayed with him. I wonder whether the musical elephant could be a precious treasure belonging to a child. But there was still a network of caves ahead of me.
Oh, it feels like air conditioning.
This was a split-level complex.
Wow, this cave is humongous.
This was, in fact, the military headquarters, and the small stage area served as a morale booster for the soldiers.
So they would give certificates and medals, all sorts of commendations here, and they would all gather, and this room is very big. Now, was this dynamited out as well?
This is it's natural cave.
This is natural.
Yeah, it's not natural cave.
Wow.
Yeah, this cave is long about 300 meters.
300 meters.
Yeah, about 2,000 staff is living in this cave, including their family.
Oh, and their families too.
Yes, of course.
Everyone. Okay.
Yeah, we go this way.
Yes. Yes, show me more.
They used to make the food like a kitchen.
Oh, it's a kitchen area.
Yeah, like a kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes they have to cooking there. But when the rainy season, too much water, so they have to cooking here.
Okay, so that's very intense. Yeah. Raise it up. Oh, wow, look at these formations.
Now, if my 6th grade geography serves me well, stalactites grow downwards and stalagmites grow upwards. Just around the next turn is Sanglot Cave.
Whoa, this is incredible. It's so big.
Yeah, it's very big.
What's this used for?
This is for the movie theater
Okay.
and meeting hall.
This multi-purpose cave also hosted weddings and touring performance troupes.
So how many people can you fit in this cave?
This cave about 500 or 600.
500 or 600. What does Sanglot mean anyway?
Sanglot means the elephant can sleep inside.
So basically, Sanglot is elephant cave.
Yes, Sanglot is elephant cave.
I was way off on my treasure. Here I was looking for something small, a little trinket, maybe a children's toy. Now I get it. Musical performance, elephant cave, my musical elephant. I found my treasure.
That just leaves the 3rd treasure to hunt down. And I'm hoping that Tong Van Tongdi, a museum guide from Vientiane, can share his personal insights of the Viengxay chapter of the war.
I would like to introduce you to this information center in Viengxay, where the visitors can get information before they come to visit the cave.
Okay. So this is the perfect starting place then?
Yeah, inside here. So this is a panel introduce very brief about leadership and the people life during the war in Viengxay.
The Pathet Laos started with 20,000 soldiers in 1964, but the continued bombing helped recruit more, and 7 years later their numbers swelled to 50,000. Viengxay became in every aspect a functioning city, with among others banking caves, caves for textile production, printing presses, arms making, and repairs. A wind-up phone system connected all the caves. Lessons were organized in the forest and in caves, and children were drilled on what to do when the planes came swooping in. Mr. Pwongsan Sisavan, a teacher and soldier during the war years, recounts those times with Tong Van.
เวลาฮือวินมายิ่งเนี่ยแม่นว่าถ้าบ่ปลอดภัยเขาคุ้มครอง
7 kilometers away from Viengxay is a cave complex spanning 3 karst formations, the 2 entrances a mountain apart, hidden by rich foliage. It was the largest hospital in the region with 3 wards, one for men, women, and intensive care patients. There were also operating theaters. This was the maternity ward. The hospital was built with Vietnamese help. It was staffed by Lao doctors and nurses, Vietnamese and Cuban doctors. It was called the Friendship Hospital. Here, Tong Van caught up with Dr. Sipanvon Kongdi. Kongdi had just graduated from medical school in Vietnam when he was posted to the hospital.
อันนี้สเต็ป
ตัวนี้เป็นซีรีส์มันบางอันก็เป็นตัวจริงคือนี่นะพยาธิที่ซ้ำเหือนี่ก็พยาธิปอดนั่นแหละมันติดมาแต่โผแต่เมบ่เก่ามันยอดขาดการอนามัยหรือว่ามันได้อันแต่สาเหตุผ่าตกท้องกินดูเปื้อนนี่นะแต่เก่า
After the war ended, people scavenged all they could from the caves to rebuild homes and lives. This village, a half-hour away from Viengxay, used to recycle debris left behind by the war.
Immediately after the war years, metal was scarce, so trays just like these and other household goods were made with metal salvaged from downed planes. Nowadays, they use aluminum that's imported.
I chanced upon this fence decorated with spent bombshells, but they are also lethal reminders of what still contaminates the land. UXO, explosive ordnance that didn't detonate on impact, kills and maims 1 person a day every day in Laos. Often it's children who dig them out while playing. There are major UXO clearance operations working around Laos, but it is estimated it will take another 20 years just to clear the land for farming. It seems in the most unexpected places I find evidence of the bombing. For me, it serves as a grim reminder of the last treasure I still need to find, a carpet stained with the blood of fallen heroes. For 3 hours every morning, the marketplace, the focal point of this small community, just buzzes. It is the only lively place in the town during my travels.
Kopchai. Oh, it's like a like a buffalo jerky. Very crunchy, very nice, very nice. Kopchai.
The market sellers are farmers who belong to the mainly Hmong hill tribes, who are the original inhabitants in Viengxay. Isolated before the war, the Hmongs today are part of the social and cultural fabric of Laotian life. The Pathet Lao made a special effort to protect them and include them in the cave community. The war had shattered the Hmong way of life that had remained unchanged for hundreds of years. The director of the Cave Memorial Office is Hmong. His home was hit by 3 bombs when he was 13 years old, and he saw his grandfather die in front of his eyes.
ยินแต่ว่าน้ำตาย่อยออกแล้วมันว่าลาเอ้ยนี้เด้อพวกเขาตายแล้วเขาก็เบิ่งใช่มั้ยว่าขาดแอวนี่นะขาดหมดแอวนี่อยู่พื้นของเพิ่นมีแต่เลือด
Blood on the ground, a carpet stained with the blood of fallen heroes. Is this a clue? My search continues. Riding through the streets of Viengxay, it dawned on me that I held the clue to the final treasure from the very first day in Pom Vihan's garden. The last treasure, like the others, was symbolic.
This is the carpet stained with the blood of fallen heroes. These begonias are a memorial planted in tribute to the thousands of Laotian lives that were lost during the 9 years of war.
The bombing stopped when in February 1973, Khe Son Pom Vihan signed the ceasefire agreement between the Pathet Lao and the US-backed Royal Lao government. It was a month after the end of the Vietnam War, which had spilled over to Laos. Viengxay means City of Victory. In 1991, some 20 years after the war, Viengxay became a National Heritage Site. Laos is a country rich in heritage sites. Pon Savan, the halfway point between Vientiane and Viengxay, is home to the Plain of Jars, one of the great mysteries of ancient civilization. The jars are believed to have been funeral urns. Legend also has it that a race of giants once inhabited the land, and the jars were used to contain wine. It is part of a heritage trail Laos is promoting, which covers 3 of its national treasures.
It's a 2-day road trip from the UNESCO Cultural Heritage Site of Luang Prabang to the Plain of Jars, an ancient heritage site. And our final destination, Viengxay and the Hidden Caves, is a historical heritage site. The scenery here, as with everywhere else I've been, is simply beautiful.